Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Action Force Warpath Eclipse figure from Valaverse. This was a JoeCon/online exclusive, and the question is this worth going out of your way to get? Well, let's talk about that. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks, to put it simply, badass, and honestly, that's really impressive, especially considering this is more or less just a repaint of Pandora with Eclipse's head. And that's kind of awesome. Like, again, as you can see here, like exact same everything. They just use different colors. So we got a green tank top instead of gray. We got brown pants instead of blue. And yeah, and obviously the boots are like slightly less, I guess less, not less detailed, but different details. As you can see, we got some actual like weathering there on the armor plates, which I think is very cool. Transfers over the knee pads as well. It's just really well done there. And yeah, so pretty much everything about Pandora that was awesome is awesome here, just in different colors. And then obviously a different tattoo, this time on the right arm, not the left. And this actually transfers onto the shoulder as well. So very cool there. And the focal point here really being just how awesome that face paint is. The war paint just looks incredible. And I'm sure a lot of us seeing that was just like, okay, yeah, need that figure. And yeah, it looks great in person. There's, obviously it's mostly black with a little bit of red on the nose. And yeah, it looks intense and just absolutely love that. Good hair on the sculpt as well. Good sculpt on the hair as well, pardon me. And yeah, just really cool overall. So honestly, if you liked Pandora, you're gonna love this figure aesthetically as well. So yeah, that's aesthetics. We get a whole mess of accessories, so let's jump right in. And right out of the box, for hands, we get a pair of kind of trigger gripping hands with vertical hinge. Then we get a pair of fists, a pair of cupping hands, and then a pair of gripping hands with a horizontal hinge, and no trigger finger. So then we get not one, not two, but three different head sculpts. Right out of the box, we get that more kind of straightforward stoic look. Then we get a screaming look, which is actually a great screaming sculpt as well, which is kind of a rarity, but getting better for various lines, but definitely like cool to see that carries the intensity it should. And then finally, we get a masked head, and just done very, very well and very intimidating. So there's that. And then we get a whole bunch of weapons, obviously these being military figures. So we get a sidearm with some nice silver paint here on the end of the barrel. Then we get the knife, which we've seen before. Again, this came with Pandora, but still it's a great design. Then we get further on bladed weapons. We do get that scythe, looks excellent. And then finally a machine gun. Very nice sculpt here, like lots of details, and obviously just that kind of olive drab in the black, and a little splash of silver kind of pops there. So there's that. And then for that machine gun, we get a whole mess of magazines. We get 6 of them, which almost seems excessive. But we have 2 different designs. So we have these, which have more of that kind of those horizontal lines going that way. And then we got these 3 with the vertical line. So I'm not sure what the difference is here. Let me know in the comments if you are aware. So I wasn't sure. Obviously, I'm assuming there's a reason. These are very detailed figures and research, so I'm guessing there's a very definitive reason for that. But moving on, then finally we do get some body armor. This is different from what we saw with Pandora. This is more the standard body armor, done very well, again with some of that weathering on the chest piece. And it's nice kind of blue, green, and black color scheme. And then finally, we of course get our Action Force stand in the standard kind of gunmetal silver. And that will do it for accessories. Articulation here is obviously just as good as we saw in Pandora, and as you can see, can hold the freestanding kick. This took all of 2 seconds to get into, so tons of points there as usual. And getting into the nitty gritty, we have a ball hinge for the head, and because we have a short haircut, we are getting even better up and down, so we get better range here all around, get a little bit of tilt, and of course rotation. At the arms, no butterflies, but we do have hinge and swivel, bringing us up just past the T. We have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows going all the way in half. We have hinge and swivel at the wrists, verticals on the trigger fingers, horizontal on everything else. Then we get ball joint in the diaphragm, ball joint in the waist. So we are getting a lot. Let me move the belt there. So a lot of really nice crunch and some nice arch back. You got to kind of move around the sculpt a little bit there. It's not actually full range. There we go. So crazy arch back too. So, and of course we're going to get side to side with that. Then our hips, we do have drop downs as we've had with this whole line, which allows us to get perfect splits. And of course, kick forward, and we're actually coming past 90 there. Then we get thigh swivel, double jointed knees all the way in half, and boot swivel, perfect point, really nice forward, and all the rocker we need. So that's articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here she is with some other Valaverse Action Force figures, with some G.I. Joe Classified series, with some Hasbro and some Mattel, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valaverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Action Force Warpath Eclipse figure from Valaverse is that this figure absolutely rules. This is everything I loved about the Pandora figure, just with better head articulation, and somehow looks even more badass. So honestly, cannot recommend it enough. And honestly, from the size comparisons, you saw how well this blends even with other lines. So definitely worth picking up and going out of your way to do so. As I said at the beginning, it was a Joe Fest exclusive, showed up online for a little while in Valaverse's website, or shortly I should say, sold out very quickly. However, Valaverse has said that they were aware that this would be popular and sell out quickly, so they have another run coming that will be sold on their website, so do not give in to scalpers yet. They will show up on the Valaverse website, so I highly recommend following their socials, who I will link to in the description below under the Get Yours section, so you can do so and hopefully pick up one of your own, because I could not recommend this enough. So yeah, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. And if you did, I hope to see you back here, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and much more, as you can see here. So please come on back. Let's talk some more toys. Let's have some more fun. And with all of that being said, I hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.